I wanted to take a minute to talk about Michael Madsen. I briefly met him in Los Angeles years ago. I had just been to his movie premiere, a film called Luck of the Draw. And then there was a party at a club afterwards, and the producer, Candace King, introduced me to Michael Madsen. She was even working with him to try to get him to direct one of her next movies. But this movie was called Luck of the Draw, and I got to meet him. And I remember, like, I grew up watching Reservoir Dogs and like all the stuff, and he was just always this tough guy and really like hard on screen, and he had that voice and the whole nine yards. And then when I met him and I was introduced to him, he put his hand out to shake my hand. And I have to say, in all my years on this planet, I've been on this planet 50 years, I've never shook a man's hand that was as soft as Michael Madsen. And that's the story I always tell people. I was like, this guy's like rough and tough, and he's such a hard ass on all these movies and all this kind of stuff. But his hand felt like butter. It felt like my daughter's hand. It was so soft. I don't know what he was doing for his hands to get him that soft. But he was really nice to me. It was a very brief interaction. And so, I guess he might have pampered himself really well, or, the whole facade of him being that tough man, man's man, he was really kind of a softy, if you will. And I think, you'll hear that from a lot of his family members and stuff like that as well. I've been seeing a lot of pictures. I believe that his daughter was posting on TikTok. It's all these really home photos you never see of him playing with her at all these different ages when she's a young girl. And so it kind of rewires my head back to that moment when I met him and I shook his hands, and I was like, these soft hands, I thought he was this tough guy. And it's because he was probably just a big teddy bear, even though I know he had his demons like other people did in this industry. My heart goes out to his family and friends, and he'll be missed.